Welcome to the Driving Land channel. You can't decide between the first gen Toyota Alphard and the first gen Toyota Noah. If that's the case, stick around and I'll tell you all about them. So first off, this is a 2005 Toyota Alphard, an all-wheel drive, and it's a hybrid. It has the E4 all-wheel drive system, so it means there's the electric motor in the back. There's no drive shaft connecting the engine to the back wheels, and the gasoline engine only is connected to the front wheels. This is a bit of a special case because it's a hybrid. This is a non-hybrid, the first gen Toyota Noah. It's a 2002. They never made hybrids for the first generation, and it might seem like they're the same size or roughly similar size, but that's not the case. This is wider. This is more like you would find on American roads, and this is narrower. So this is about 5 centimeters narrower than what you would expect to see for a normal car here on the road. So they're really similar, but there are also lots of differences. So if you're thinking and you're choosing between the two, I'll tell you all about their differences. This one is actually, as I said, this is a hybrid. So many people stay away from hybrids, from importing a hybrid, because they can have issues after 15 years old or 20 years old. They will most certainly have issues with their batteries. So, and actually that is completely 100% true. If you're not ready to replace the battery, don't get a hybrid. I got this one and I already had to refurbish the battery, and I did have some codes for the hybrid system popping up. So it's pretty much guaranteed that if you get this one, you'll get issues with the hybrid system, and as a minimum, you'll get issues with hybrid battery. So be sure that there's someone that can work on the first of all JDM hybrid, and then also on the JDM car itself, and is not afraid to change the battery in it, work on it, and it's not too expensive. I got the battery refurbished here for 3,000 Canadian dollars, so that's kind of the minimum cost you probably need to expect from repairing or refurbishing the hybrid battery. From the Noah's perspective, I had to do nothing with the car. The car arrived, I had to do nothing with the car. It passed the inspection, it passed out of program inspection, no problem, no questions asked. I even had tires on it that were good, that came from Japan. So absolutely dependable. You jump in, you drive. This one has a GDI engine, the first generation GDI engines that Toyota made. So that's something to think about as well. If you want a really basic car, no GDI, no nothing, you might want to look into the second generation, but they might have a CVT transmission in them. So this is a regular transmission still, but the GDI engine. This is a 2-liter GDI engine, and this is a 2.4 Atkinson cycle regular gasoline engine combined with the hybrid drive. Just driving them, Noah is much more zippy. It's zippier, it's faster, feels like it always wants to go. Hybrid from the other side, it's just always wants to stop because it regens, and the 2.4 liter engine is actually not a lot for this size of car, and they are really different by weight. It looks like they're similar size, but this one's much bigger and it's much heavier. So 2.4 is not a lot, and you won't get good gas mileage in it. There are other things that you have to consider for Alphard. Of course, Alphard is much bigger inside, much more luxurious. The ride is great, there's less noise. Toyota Noah is more like a basic car. It's plasticky inside, you feel all the bumps, there's more noise in the car, and it's smaller. It's you can get by if you're an average height like me, you can get by. Okay, so let's start with the Noah. The doors open wide, but not really 90 degrees. It's enough for anyone to get in. So, I'm average height. That's my height over there. And yeah, I'm average built, I would say. and I fit here really nicely. But one thing is that I'm at the end. I'm at the end of the travel here. So if you're a little bit bigger, a little bit taller, you might not have enough leg room here because there's no adjustment here for the leg room. You have the steering wheel tilt, but not pull back and forth. I like it a bit higher. You have your controls for the turn signals on the right. You have your wipers on the left. Yeah, you have manual controls for the angle here of this seat, and you have manual control for the back. So you can put it down horizontally, actually. So this is a nice feature. All the seats here, you can recline them flat. The same with the Alphard. Okay, let me bring you in here. So there you go. You sit down. Everything's nice and comfortable. This is your gear selector, wiper control, turn signals, and light control. There's your button to turn on and off the all-wheel drive. So that's why I actually really like this car, because in the summer you can leave it off and it will be just front-wheel drive, and then in the winter you could press this to get all-wheel drive. So you can drive all winter with this button on, all summer with this button off. You'll get better gas mileage in the summer and better traction in the winter. Mirror controls, electric. You have all the controls for your windows. Everything else is really basic. You have actually auto control for the climate, and then you select the temperature. You have your fan control, really nice, just electronic, and selector for the direction, AC, and rear. The same as defrost and recirc. This is your flashers, and you can read outside temperature, but the car needs to be on to read the outside temperature. Radio, really basic, nothing fancy, and odometer, trip, control, and everything else is pretty much as you will find in any other Toyota car. Here there are consoles here, but I don't have a console, so I put this from an old truck. So I have cup holders here. Otherwise you have plenty of cup holders here. Ashtray, power, another compartment here, plenty of compartments. There in the door, compartments, very tiny one in here, nothing fancy. What I do like is that there is a compartment for your glasses and light control. Very basic, nothing fancy, but everything is there. Handles all around except the driver. I reclined all the seats flat, so you can see how you can turn this into a camper. Really nice, really comfortable, really roomy, really lots of space. So this just slides back like this, and then it locks in place. That's it. Very simple to close it. It wouldn't go back on its own. You pull this, it unlocks the door, and then you slide it. Real nice and easy. Everything's mechanical, everything's manual. Nice handle here, so a child can get in easily, or an older person, or just pull this to recline the seats, and then there's another lever here to move them back and forth. So this is actually all the way back. You can't go back anymore. So this is all the way back because I'm sitting there, and this is all the way back. So let's try to get in. It's not too high. You can get in easily without any help, but this handle is really nice to have. That's it. You get in. You have lots of room here. lots of space for your feet. You have a little hook here for your groceries. Nothing too fancy. Yeah, and you close the door. That's it. On you go. So really, if there are two people here, this is plenty enough. There you go. So very comfortable. It's a bit dirty, but to fold this middle seat, pull on this, fold it down. Now you have a little table here, actually, with cup holders. Really nice to have. I think we almost never used it. We usually either fold this completely or unfold it to have a middle seat. So, and then to fold it completely, you just pull on it and it folds to the side like this. And there is a small passageway here. It's really small, actually, not big. For a child, it's okay. For an adult, it's like you can get by. The third row, now it's reclined, so it's a bed, but the seats, the back seats, the back reclines back, so you can have it in a normal chair position, and there's plenty of room there to sit. So it's not cramped in any way. The only cramped seat, I would say, is maybe the front, the passenger seat here. There's just, for some reason, there's not enough room there. Knee area, I'll show it to you now. Especially if we want to put a child seat, the rear-facing child seat. If you put it here and you need more space, you move this chair to the front, and there's not enough room there. Lots of space in here, and to recline these seats, you pull the lever here, and they recline. Plenty of space here, but it is tight for example, for a stroller. It is a bit tight. So if you want to put a stroller in here, what we usually do, we fold this seat and fold it to the side. The Noahs can get these seats, the third row can be folded to the side. You have a middle seat belt for the third row, you have a middle seat belt for the second row, you have seat belts for the second row. First of all, pull the lever or press the lever depending from which side you're going to fold this completely. It locks in place. Then you pull this orange lever up, push it up, fold this leg. Now you have a hook. So you have the hook. You can loosen the strap or tighten the strap, but leave it untightened. Then you just put the hook, tighten the strap as much as you want, and then use this Velcro to hold it in place. That's it. It's not going anywhere. Now we have all this space. So that's what we usually do. We put the stroller here, and my child can sit in the third row, and then another child in the second row, and my wife in the second row or in the first row. That's how we usually roll, and then we have place for the stroller. Here, not all strollers would fit. Some strollers would fit sideways if you remove the wheels. Some strollers would fit sideways as they are, but it depends on the model. But you can make it work. So this seat actually is, for some reason, there's less space here. I don't know how it is, but it seems like there's always less space here. So this seat needs to go forward always. So let's try to sit into this spot. There's plenty of room, but if we need a chair there, child seat, you kind of always bump your knee here. And many people, they sit here and they want to spread their legs even more. And if I have something plugged into this power outlet, they always push it with their knee. So this is kind of actually the tightest seat. Okay, now it's Alphard's turn. The door is much bigger. First of all, you open it, and it opens pretty much the same amount. It's not 90 degrees, but it's a good enough angle to get in and out. The door is much longer. I can see it already now by placing my camera here. So again, a handle here. There's no handle, I think, on the Noah, but a handle here, and it's much taller. Even though I have the wheels that are really small, they're roughly the same size as Noah's wheels, but it sits, even with those small wheels, taller. So you either go all the way there and hold yourself and get in, not too bad, or you kind of go with one foot here and then you get in. It's a bit more awkward, it's a bit taller, and to get out I usually just kind of go sideways, step on this little step, and then go out. That's how I usually do it. But to get in, it's definitely a little bit more awkward because it's taller. Nice seating position, much softer, nicer seats. They're all electronic here for the driver, and this is pretty much my seating position. Again, we have steering wheel tilt, no front and back motion, just the tilt. And this is, you remember in the Noah I was all the way to the back. Here I still have a little bit, but not much actually. That's it. So this is a bit too far for me, but if I was a bit taller, this would be good, that I have that adjustment. You don't have that in the Noah. You're just cramped in there. So to go back a little bit, and I just needed maybe an inch or an inch and a half here, so there's not much room here as well, but all the controls here are electronic. You can do like angle electronically, angle of this seat, everything's electronic. Nice seating position, everything the same here. The only thing is that you have buttons on the steering wheel and you have your cruise control here. More buttons, but in general everything is the same pretty much. So there you go. This is the Alphard. I closed the door so the lights wouldn't be on all the time. Pretty much everything the same, just buttons, cruise control, and more buttons on the side. So let's just look at what the buttons say. This is to open the right side door, left side door, turn on the 100-volt AC, which is actually 1500 watts, which is great. More buttons here. I guess in higher end versions with the V6, I think, or I don't know. There are more buttons here. There's for heated seats, for some other things, but it's not here. So here, the same controls as in Noah. Everything is the same as in all the Toyotas. Here the odometer is in front of you. You push, turn for lights. Everything the same. Here, power door off, so you can turn off the power door function. Lane assist, which never worked for me yet, and more buttons for other versions. I don't have them. Room light, hazard flashers, hazard lights. Transmission is very similar to other Toyotas. You have two modes, so three modes for the drive. You have drive, you have sport, and then you have B, which is, I guess, engine brakes. So again, you have here your power outlet, some kind of a little pocket there, a little tray here for something, cup holders. You see the normal cups fit. This is this power outlet for 1500 watts, which is great to have. So you can plug in pretty much anything, and three more buttons. So my version is actually quite bad. It's missing many of the buttons. It's a hybrid, of course, and a shift lock, so you can unlock it even if the car is dead. Very nice central console. I love that it's here. My daughter, always in the Noah, always would jump into the driver's seat and walk to the back, just because she can easily open the driver's door. So not happening in here. She won't be able to go through here unless she would crawl through here, and then it hasn't happened yet. But there's a big storage here. I have some tissues here. I have all kinds of stuff, and you can safely store it. Passenger seat doesn't have electronic controls for doesn't have motorized controls for moving the seat. It's all mechanical, but there's plenty of space here to store something. Side pockets here, these side bins are huge. You can fit any kind of bottle in there. The same on the passenger side, and that's pretty much it. You also do have the glasses compartment and lights, everything like usual, and I guess your kind of a credit card or something slot, and this is just like everywhere else. And a little storage bin for something. I don't know, it doesn't exist. No, it's not there. It's only for the driver, whatever that is, maybe keys or something. So the back door, side passenger door. This is actually, it has a very nice feature of electric sliding doors, and I'm sold on it every time. It gets me every time. If I have that choice, I would get it. This is pretty much must have. You just pull the lever, it opens automatically. Granted, the other side doesn't work for me in this vehicle. It's broken, so it needs to be fixed. But I anyway go through this side all the time because this is a right-hand drive, but I'm driving on the right side of the road, so I park on the right side, so the curb is right here. So then when the curb is right here, people get in and out from here, especially children. Children wouldn't go around to climb in from that door. So I guess that's why that one is broken, because in Japan they would do the opposite. The kids would go in from that side and it broke. So there you go. But just look at this. Much more room. And this actually slides all the way to the back. I'll show you the sliders go all the way to the back. Right now it's not slid to the back because I have a seat folded to the side. Let's get in. It's much taller to get in. For kids might be a bit harder, but it's the same strategy as here. You grab, put your foot here, and you get in. Lots of room in here. The only thing is that you can't put your feet under the seat. There's something plastic there. But you don't really need it because you just have plenty of space. It's just, and it can slide even more to the back, and I'll show you the sliders go. You have a pocket here, pocket there, everything you want. And this slides the seat back and forth, so you can have it as close as and far as you want. And this is to recline your back. Again, all kinds of controls. And to close it, you just pull on the lever, it closes automatically. These are the sliders for the seats, and you can see they go all the way over there. And I can't move it farther because I have this seat folded to the side. So let's get in. You can get in however you want. Another hook for your groceries. Here we have controls for the passengers, so the volume on off. I guess that's for the TV, and you can get your video in for the TV, so like a disc player, I guess in 2005 that would be a disc player, DVD player, something like that, and your power outlet for 1500 watts. You can pretty much power anything you want. Cup holders, they just slide out like this and fold out. These are the cup holders, and to put them back, you slide them back. That's it. The same for this seat. It slides for front and back really far, and these sliding rails over there are the same for the back seat as well. My version doesn't have the full bench, but has a little table here, so it just unfolds like this, and then there's a lever in the back to fold it. That's it. You see there's a booster seat here for my child. Then you have speakers there, lights, control for your vents. Here you have control for the temperature in the back. You have mode, fan, temperature. Here it displays all the modes, auto, off, and the light inside. Another button, I guess, could have been here, but there's nothing in there. And of course, you have the TV. You can connect your DVD player and have a movie right in there. Everyone can watch a movie while they're going somewhere. Get the lights on all the time. Works perfectly so far. Okay, let's try to get into the back. Much more space to walk in here, and voila, you can sit in here, and there's more, I guess there's more leg room here because you can put your foot in there, you can put your foot in here and in here, so you can do whatever you want while you're on the way, but you can't put it in here, of course. So there's a nice little side kind of a side protrusion here, so it's nice and comfortable on both sides. Here are the controls for sliding. So this is the back, reclining the back, and this is to slide it forth and back, front and back. So right now I can slide it pretty much all the way to the back. There's not much room left, but I have lots of space here. Lots of space. I can stretch out my legs as much as I want. And this is the seat folded to the side, the same principle, except that it has a little hook here that you put it into, and you don't use this, you use the little hook. But everything else is the same. And to fold it down, you have to move it to this position with the arrow. You move it to the front position. It's pretty much all the way to the front. And then you pull on this. So I'll show it to you here. You pull, there's a word pull, you pull on it, and it unlocks this mechanism and you can flip it. Also, you need to lay the back of the seat flat. That's the only difference from the Noah. The Noah, you fold it so it closes down like a clamshell, and this one you fold it back so it's nice and flat to the side of the vehicle. So this might give you a little bit more room actually inside, but maybe they did it because these are bulkier seats. The Noah has like a more economy seats. So there you go. You fold them down. You have so much room in here. You can transport pretty much whatever you want. And one more thing I forgot to show you is here. You can use these rests for your feet. So you do something like this, I guess, and put your feet in here, and then you have a support. So this is nice, but I don't think many people would use it. Maybe, I don't know. If you have an Alphard, let me know if you use it. I haven't used it. I only used it actually when I was sleeping, because you can recline this all the way back and put this into the front, and you can sleep like in the bed. But I would rather actually have more storage space under the seat instead of these things. Here you have a cup holder, kind of for a cup or for a bottle, and a narrow, small bin for everything else. And here, unfortunately, the battery is a bit too big, so I can't close it properly. So it's kind of always, I have this gap. But I'll need to figure this out. That's not a car's fault, that's a fault of the battery. And there you go. This is the front. Everything is much nicer, much bigger, much quieter, better ride. You can move it towards the back even more. You see, you have still like maybe a few inches, 10 centimeters. And there are hooks for your groceries. Yeah, you have also, again, here, something grounding. And you have your 1500 watts of power in there. So the batteries are not under the seat here. The hybrid battery is actually under the front passenger seat, and the 12-volt battery is there under the console. So here, I don't know what is here, probably nothing, because there's a spare underneath over there, so there's probably not much space here. But there's a good clearance in this car. So there you go. Everything is pretty much better on the Alphard, but it is heavy. You have electric closing boot. Alphard is wider, it's more comfortable, it's more refined, more space, better handling, better ride, everything is better. But if you're an average size, average height like I am, go ahead, you can use this one, you can use Noah, no problems. If you want a bit more space, more refined, if for example you have 3 kids or something, or 4 kids, this is the way to go. You can get them all-wheel drive, you can get them with 2.4 engine without the hybrid, you can get them with 2.4 with the hybrid, you can get them with a V6, I believe a 3-liter V6. To me, it seems like a 2.4 non-hybrid would be kind of slow for this car, but this one is a 2-liter, so it's much zippier, much zippier. You can see that the Alphard is taller, and actually with proper wheels, it's almost 2 meters tall. It's like 195, 197 centimeters tall, really tall. That's an issue for my garage. If it's 2 meters, it wouldn't fit. If it's 195, it still fits. So that's another consideration for you. If you have to drive through like a garage door that is low, you won't fit. Noah will fit. Noah is narrower. You don't feel it much in the car, but you feel it in the garage. There's more room to park it. In general, I think this is a good bang for your buck. Really simple, really reliable. This one is also reliable, but it's heavy, and for example, when I got it here inspected, I had to change the subframe bushings on the back, which cost me like 800 Canadian bucks, which is not cheap. So they do wear out faster because it's a heavier vehicle, but they're nicer, more comfortable. Let's have a look here quickly under the hood. This is the Noah 2-liter GDI engine. Very good engine, a bit noisy because of the GDI. Noise insulation is actually not good in this Noah. You hear everything. You hear the engine, you hear the road, you hear the bumps, you hear everything. So that's kind of annoying a little bit. You also feel the vibrations. Because it's a GDI, it vibrates more, especially it wants always to like idle at 500, 600 RPM. That's a bit too low, and then it vibrates. You have your engine, you have everything in front of you, you can change whatever you want. The GDI is actually hidden over there, so that's probably not very easy to work on. But here in the front, spark plugs, alternator is over here, all the hoses, starter is over there, everything is over here. You don't even need to worry about the space. Power steering reservoir here, brake fluid is here. This is your cap for the coolant. Battery is right here. There's no brainer to swap it. Air filter is right there. Everything is here. I also installed the block heater. It goes over there and inserts into the engine. Probably not the best engine heater, block heater on the market, but that's what I could find. This is your ABS and your pulleys for belts, your belt for the alternator and other things. I guess the AC compressor is right under there, and I see that there's not much space in there to work on the belt and on the pulley. Let's quickly have a look under the hood in the Alphard. It has a little bit more corrosion than my Noah, but because it spent some time in Vancouver at the sea and it was sitting there, so it got the corrosion on everything. There you go. This is 2.4 Atkinson cycle engine, standard engine for all of the hybrids, Toyota hybrids. You have everything also laid out here. The only thing is that the box, air box, is kind of above the engine, and filter changes are fine, but if you want to get to the spark plugs, you have to remove it. If you want to get to the your intake, it's behind actually this air filter box, so you have to remove the box, remove the back of the box, you have to remove everything to get to the intake. So that's one disadvantage, but Otherwise, you have your oil dipstick here, transmission dipstick. Transmission is actually just splash lubrication because this is the hybrid planetary gear transmission with 2 electric motors here, and because this is all-wheel drive, there's another electric motor in the back. So a gasoline engine powers only the front wheels, and then the electric motor powers the back wheels. This is the ABS. There's no real alternator here. It's all done via the hybrid system. You have your orange wiring for the hybrid system and the brake fluid reservoir. Pretty much that's it. The power steering is electronic, I believe, on this model. You have your, I guess this is the engine coolant, this is the hybrid system coolant, and fuse box, another fuse box, and that's pretty much it. So not many things here to do, because most of the things you have to do is electronics, is hybrid system. So there you go. A little bit more cramped in here actually, but also doable. There isn't one belt, but it's driving something in here, something little. I'll have to double check what that is, but I believe that might be in the bottom, the AC compressor. I think that is an AC compressor. So, but this little thing, I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I know that the 12-volt battery, I think, is charged via the hybrid system through the converter. But there you go. You have easy access to everything, actually, but a little bit more cramped here with the air filter. So there you go. Here's a comparison between them. This one's pretty much good bang for your buck. This one is a bit better if you want a bit more refined ride, a bit more comfort, a bit more space. This one is the one to get. And the difference, if you import it, will probably be like $5,000, maybe a bit more. These ones you can get dirt cheap, especially the first generation. They're very cheap. Not everyone wants a car like that, which is kind of not too big, not sporty. It's pretty much good bang for your buck if you want a 7-seater van that's all-wheel drive and you don't mind driving on the right side. This one is just if you want a bit more room, a bit more refined ride, and you don't mind spending more money. Probably don't get the hybrids. 20-year-old, 15-year-old hybrids will for sure need some work. So maybe don't get the hybrid, get a V6. That's what many people do. They get an Alphard with a V6 and they're happy. Here, I would actually get a 2.4, maybe all-wheel drive non-hybrid if I had the chance. I don't need much power. They're okay on a highway, they're okay in the city, and you get better gas mileage with the 2.4, and it's simpler to work on. You get it's V6 is cramped in here, so in a 4-cylinder with plenty of room to work on. So that's my 5 cents, and thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one.